Let's talk about a great way to make millions through WooCommerce stores. Today a lot of people are selling digital products and downloads. You don't have to sell physical products. The new wave is to actually make money selling digital products and downloads. So let me give you an overview so you have a clear idea of what I'm talking about. See, selling digital products is an excellent opportunity for store owners, bloggers, and other content creators alike. Okay, so digital downloads such as ebooks, music files, images, you have fonts, okay, you have sewing patterns and whatnot, work well as standalone purchases or add-ons to physical products or services. That's what we like. That's the duality we love when you think about selling digital products and downloads in general. Whether you sell them on WooCommerce or another platform, doesn't really matter. Let me give you an example. The duality is what? The duality is that you can sell them as standalone purchases or as add-ons to physical products or services. That's the duality we love a lot. Let me give you an example. If you sell music courses online, you might also sell digital sheet music. Or if you crochet baby toys, you could actually sell downloadable patterns for those who also enjoy crafting, right? And so this gives you a lot of avenues for wealth, a lot of avenues for revenue regeneration. So the best part is that those digital products and downloads help you generate revenue without having to worry about things like inventory. That's the keyword, right? Shipping and storage. This trifecta can be really costly if you run a traditional business. But if you're selling non-physical products, you don't have to care about inventory. You don't have to care about shipping. You don't have to care about storage. You don't have to care about fulfillment. None of that. Okay. Once you set up your digital products, there is very, very little maintenance involved. Okay. And if you already have a WordPress site, getting started is simple and straightforward. So this is really important. Okay. So, but again, what I want to say here is that just make sure that you have a clear idea about the digital products and or downloads you want to sell through WooCommerce. Okay, it's important to make sure that this product appeals to your target audience, that it is really in sync with what your target audience wants and will buy. Because the bottom line is you can't do anything that your target audience is not interested in. They must be interested in the downloads or digital products you want to sell. Here is the approach I want you to follow right now. So how do you actually sell digital products on WordPress? Well, the thing is, you need to understand, while WordPress includes a lot of powerful functionality by default, you will need to have a plugin to sell products on your site, okay? And so when we talk about plugins, what are we talking about? We're speaking about free or premium tools that you actually have to install to provide extra functionality. And so there are several different plugins that you can use to sell digital downloads with WordPress. However, I want to share with you like a few reasons that WooCommerce is the best, most effective and efficient choice. Okay. By the way, before we actually continue, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Okay. And, we love to have this sort of convos about e-commerce sales growth every now and then. So what makes, really, when you think about it, what makes WooCommerce the best plugin for digital product sales? So it was actually built for WordPress, and it is supported by the WordPress team. Okay, so WooCommerce was designed for WordPress, and is supported by the same company that actually is behind WordPress.com. So automatic with the 2T. Okay, and and it's the same company that is behind Jetpack. So this is important because you need to understand, if an e-commerce tool wasn't built for WordPress specifically, you might encounter compatibility issues. In many cases, setup will be more difficult, and really it may not match the rest of your site perfectly. So this, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, this could create a jarring experience for your customers and visitors, and you don't want that, and I don't want that for you. So it's free to use. Okay, WooCommerce is free to use. WooCommerce Core, along with the basic functionality you need to sell digital products, is completely free. While there are premium extensions available that cover everything from marketing and conversions to payments and merchandising, many stores won't need to pay anything at all to sell online. If you want to sell, the point I'm trying to make here is, if you want to sell digital products and downloads online, you're not going to need to pay for the WooCommerce plugin. Okay, and that plugin also offers endless flexibility, so you can create absolutely anything you want with WooCommerce. The only limit is your imagination. Let me say it again, your imagination. Okay, so there is a large library of extensions designed to add functionality to your store without requiring a developer. Okay, so if you, let's say if you want to offer multiple currencies, sell memberships to a digital content library, you want to send abandoned cart emails, there is an extension that will make this possible. Everything is possible, okay? And it's very easy to scale. So WooCommerce provides all the functionality you need to grow as large as you want. There are absolutely no limits, okay? And I mean it, no limits on the number of products, sales, or variations. So whether you make 10 sales a week or 10,000, WooCommerce has you covered, really, okay? So the potential is there. So here are the steps I want you to follow right now. If you want to sell digital products with WooCommerce, it's really important to understand that there is a constellation of features you need to be aware of. So what are we talking about here? WooCommerce is really a powerful e-commerce tool which lets you sell everything from physical and digital downloads to tickets, courses, memberships, and subscriptions. So here is the most common product types you can choose from. So you have simple products, you have variable products, you have downloadable products. Okay, we're speaking here about digital products with downloadable files, example, ebooks, graphic templates, or MP3s. You have virtual products. So digital products that don't necessarily require file delivery, example, a service or insurance policy. We are talking about external or affiliate products, subscription products, membership products, bookable products, okay? For example, items that require appointments or reservations, for example, a jet ski rental or online consultation, okay? And so it's really important to understand the constellation of products, the constellation of services, the constellation of digital downloads and digital products that you can sell through WooCommerce is really, really, really big, okay? And you need to understand there has to be the right fit for things. There has to be the right thing, the right fit for your target audience, okay? So it's important to understand that when you are thinking about selling a digital product, make sure that you have thought about your target audience and what they want to see, what type of content they want to see, what type of content are they ready to buy, right? Because the bottom line, you're trying to grow sales. Make sure there is compatibility between your offer and their demand. Very important. And so what we also need to think about is that downloadable products are technically types of virtual products, but they send a download to the customer after their purchase. This is the right fit for anything that involves sending files, including ebooks and other types of PDFs, graphic templates such as PSD, AI, and EPS files, font files, software and license keys, craft templates like sewing patterns, music and audio files, stock photos, printable artwork. Okay, so this is a non-exhaustive list though, but it gives you an idea. And before I continue here, I just want to remind you of today's topic. What are we talking about? We're talking about WooCommerce, how to sell digital products, okay? I'm trying to explain to you, I'm giving you a step-by-step in selling really digital products through WooCommerce. So if you already use WordPress, then getting started with WooCommerce should be a pretty seamless transition. It uses the same dashboard you are already familiar with, okay? So to get started, you want to install and activate WooCommerce. So what you want to do is in your WordPress dashboard, you want to navigate to plugins, add new. So you want to search for WooCommerce and click install, then activate. So what will happen here is that a setup wizard will appear that will walk you through all the first steps of building your online store. So after you do that, the next thing I want you to do right now, and this is so important, this step is really quite essential. You got to choose a payment gateway. A lot of entrepreneurs, they actually minimize the importance of this step, but it is really important because when you really think about it, the bottom line is you want to sell, right? If you want to sell, you got to have a system whereby you process those sales transactions. So a payment gateway is really the cornerstone of your strategy here. So the payment gateway allows you to securely collect money from your customers and transfer those payments to your bank account. So WooCommerce integrates with a variety of payment gateways, and that's really good, okay? And those gateways, the good thing is you may already be familiar with them. So we're talking about Stripe, we're talking about PayPal, okay? And to make sure that you are really paying attention to that side of things. And actually, you also have WooCommerce payments. This is also an excellent option you might want to check out. So this is really important. So here are some qualities you want to look for when thinking about a payment gateway. Okay, the fees that fit your budget. So payment gateways typically take a percentage of each sale, generally around 2.9%, but some also charge flat fees on top of that. So you want to learn what each payment gateway charges and see if that works for your business. You want to have an easy checkout process. So the simpler it is for customers to check out, the more likely they are to actually complete the purchase. Some payment gateways direct shoppers to a third-party site for payment, while others keep them on yours. You want to think about multi-currency acceptance. So if you are an international store, this is important because this won't apply to everyone though. But if you want to sell globally, you may need the ability to accept multiple currencies. And you also have to think about recurring payment acceptance if needed. The next thing I want you to do here is to create your product pages. So now it's time to create your digital products in WooCommerce. To do this, you want to go to Products, Add New. And the first thing you want to do here is you will see a product name field. So this is where you add a title to your product. So basically you have to specify what your product is all about, okay? And you want to keep scrolling down to find the product data box and click the drop down to see a list of product tabs. So what will happen here is that if your digital download has options, you want to select variable products. If not, select simple products, then make sure to check the boxes next to both virtual and downloadable. Okay, very important, virtual and downloadable. And in the regular price box, you want to add a price for your products, so you can also add a sales price below if you ever host a sale on your website. And below that, you will see a section for downloadable files. So here you can add one or more downloads. For each one though, it's very important. You will set the file name and file URL. So for the URL, you can either upload a file directly to the media library or use external management tools like Google Drive or Dropbox. Okay, this is important. And in the product data box, there are also settings for inventory levels, SKU numbers, related items, and more. Okay, and now keep scrolling down to the product short description box where you will find a description for your products. So I want you to think through what information customers will find the most helpful in convincing them to buy. Okay, but please keep things concise. This info shows up right beside your product photo, so you don't have a ton of room. Some you want to save extra details for the large text box right underneath the product name field. So these are just a couple of steps left to publish your products, and the first is to add images. Even though your items are digital, you still want to give people an idea of what they're getting. For ebooks, you want to consider making a mock-up book cover or including previews of pages. For sewing or craft templates, show photos of the finished products. For music files, add cover art. Okay, so to include photos, look in the right-hand column of the set product image link. This will basically allow you to upload the primary featured image that will show up first for your item. So you can also add a secondary gallery of images by clicking Add Product Gallery Images. So we're showing you on the screen the very first screenshot and the second screenshot. So this is really important here. Okay, so this will really actually explain everything to you that you need to understand. Fantastic. Now let's have a conversation about what are the different downloads. What are the different downloads that the different download methods for the digital products on WooCommerce? Okay, so what are the different download methods for digital products on WooCommerce? This is a conversation you need to have. You need to clearly understand what we're talking about. So once a customer purchases your digital products, how do they access the files? So there are different options you can choose from. So you have force downloads. You have XL redirect, X send file. You have redirect only. Okay, let's just quickly break it down for you. So with force downloads, if you set this, if you actually have this setting turned on, WooCommerce uses PHP to force file downloads and hides the file URL. This means the customer can directly link to your digital products and allow people who haven't purchased to download them. However, it's important to know that if you have a very large files or a lower quality server, this could cause timeouts during the download process. You have XL redirect or XSend file. So this turns the download process over to your hosting provider. Ultimately, resulting in the best performing and most reliable method. However, it does require that your host have the Excel redirect XSend file module enabled. So if you're not sure whether or not it's turned on for your site, reach out to your provider. You also have redirect only. So this method means that when customers download your products, they link redirects to the file. So turning this on doesn't secure your files. It means that people can download them even if they're not logged into your account. So this is really important. So there are pros and cons of each of the methods. So you want to consider your unique website, your hosting plan, and customer base when choosing one. So ideally, what you want to do here is you want to have a balance of user friendliness and security. Okay. So there are also a couple of other settings that apply to the download process. So we're talking about allow using redirect mode insecure as a last resort. Okay. And remember that downloads may require login. You can have a method whereby customers have to log in to download their purchases, which provides more security. And you can grant access to downloadable products after payment. So this gives file access to customers when orders are processing instead of waiting until they are completed. And you can actually append a unique string to file name for security. So this is actually checked by default and adds extra characters to the end of each file to make them unique for individual customers. Okay, so you can actually access all of these settings by going to WooCommerce, Settings, Products, Downloadable Products. Let me give you a few pro tips here before we actually continue into this conversation. So how do you actually analyze your digital product sales data on WordPress? Because the whole thing is, by the way, I'm going to quickly remind you to this topic. What are we talking about? We're talking about how to actually, like WooCommerce, how to sell digital products. It's really important to understand that now that your store is up and running, you got to move on, right? You got to think about scalability. It's important that you keep an eye on sales data so you can find opportunities for improvement and ultimately increase your sales. That should be the end goal anyway, right? If you're selling digital products or even physical products for that matter, you want to constantly thinking about increasing sales. So WooCommerce provides a lot of great information by default though, so which you can find by navigating to analytics in your WordPress dashboard. This is actually a treasure trove that will give you like a constellation of pieces of information that will help you ultimately be a better decision maker. So in the overviews section, for example, you can see basic information like total sales, net sales, views, and products sold. This is really, really good. You can also filter this data based on date ranges. To get even more granular, click on the options under analytics to view specific data on products, variations, coupons, stock, and more. So let me give you an example. The category section will show information based on each of the categories in your store. So if you sell, let's say, sheet music, you can find out exactly how many pieces of piano music were sold in a given time frame compared to guitar music, for example. In the downloads section, you can view data about the sales of your digital products specifically. And if you want to track even more, in other words, you want to go granular, even more granular, like which one of your advertising campaigns is leading when it comes to sales. You also want to set up Google Analytics. So this will open up a wealth of information that can help you make important decisions about marketing strategies, design choices, and merchandising. They're really, really important. So the bottom line is you want to be in a situation where you are constantly improving your data. You're constantly improving your data and improving your products. Improving your digital products means that you have access to intel. And the intel here is provided by you going to the analytics section and studying everything there. Very important. Let me give you a few in the bonus category. Here's a bonus for you if you have actually been watching till the end. We really appreciate you a lot. And I want to talk about something that not a lot of experts speak about. And this is based on our research into WooCommerce. So the importance of website security for sites selling digital products cannot be underestimated. Website security, website safety. This is really important. Okay, security is absolutely imperative on any website, but even more for e-commerce stores. Why? Because the online stores also handle sensitive customer information like addresses, like emails and whatnot. So a lot of protecting a lot of protection goes into your digital products, and you must actually make sure that you actually pay attention to every step you already discussed. Okay, and it's really important to understand that if you want to protect your website against hackers, which should be like one of the most important elements in your strategy, you want to protect your store with a web application firewall. A WAF is really, really important. This is your first line of defense against bad actors, okay? Because they analyze incoming traffic to a site and decide to allow or block it based on various rules. So a good WordPress firewall will be backed by a team of security experts who automatically update your firewall's rules as exploits become known to keep your site protected around the clock. Okay, you want to block brute force attacks. Okay, you want to automatically scan for malware. So if a hacker manages to get into your website and add malware, you may want to know about it as quickly as possible. Okay, so a WordPress malware scanning tool lets you know the second malware is the second a malware tool is found on the website, so you have the chance to actually act. Okay, so you want to keep an activity log. You want to find out the second your site goes down. You want to prevent spammy comments and reviews. You want to secure your login page. You want to regularly update WordPress plugins and themes. So those are really important elements. So when we talk about regularly updating WordPress, this is important because updating all of your software to its latest version helps secure potential bugs and vulnerabilities that hackers could take advantage of. Okay, so you want to stay on top of regular updates, and to make things even easier, you want to consider turning on auto updates. This you should do anyway. So this is really, really, really important. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about WooCommerce, how to sell digital products. So I gave you an overview. I explained to you the approach you need to follow, and I also showed you the steps you need to follow to actually sell very quickly. So this is kind of cool. And I gave you a few pro tips, and also in the bonus category, I explained to you the importance of website security for site selling like things on the internet, like digital downloads and other stuff. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.